So I'm wearing an apron. I've never wear an apron, as you might have noticed, but I was given this as a gift, Mother in the Kitchen, from Keldrick, who takes care of Jonathan, and I am going to give it a shot. I'm already sweating, so apologies if I don't wear it in every episode, but here we are, and I'm going to give it a whirl, and I don't know if two of me is really necessary anyway. For today, we are going to attempt to do, and I've never done it before again, elephant ears. So I pulled these two photos because I did some research on elephant ears, and here in Long Beach Island, this is the popular elephant ear that we all run down to Beach Haven to get from the bakery, and I want to try and make those. And then when I was doing the research, I found out, well, these are also called elephant ears. I know my dad loves these, and so I thought, well, you know what? This recipe is really easy, so I thought, why not do a double episode, and I'm going to try both types of elephant ears. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one and then set it aside and let it do its thing with the yeast for 30 minutes while I make this recipe. So that's perfect. The other thing I should share is that I have never worked with yeast. Shocking. This is going to be the first time in my life I've used yeast. How weird is that? But look what happened. This is the only size yeast I could get at the store. So that's hilarious. So I think I'm going to be making some other things with yeast soon because look at that. It's a lot of yeast. For recipe numero uno is 1.5 cups of milk go into a saucepan, 1.5. And then we take 2 tablespoons of sugar. I was cleaning out my drawers the other day and I found this little gadget, which Tom had given me at some point, and it adjusts, it's a teaspoon. Wow, right? So I'm going to try and use that. So I'll set it to 1 tablespoon. This is exciting. I'm measuring, and I'm going to do 2 heaping teaspoons because I like to heap. Now we put this on the stove and heat it until the butter melts. While it's warming, I'll gently move the butter around to help it melt quickly. It is almost melted. Okay, I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to let it sit until it's just lukewarm. So I've got a tablespoon. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of yeast, and I'm going to This is my first foray into yeast. Now I'm going to stir it in, and I'm supposed to let it sit until it gets foamy. Save me, can't take it. I don't belong in this club. One dance, no chance. When I have to wait for something to happen, I go into TikTok mode, and now I'm sweating from doing a dance, which you'll probably see, or you probably just saw. Here, let me show you. The next step, now that it's foamy, is to pour it into a bowl and add flour. Make sure I get all of it. Oh, it doesn't really need a spatula. Now we add 4 cups of flour. I'll stir. I don't know how much kneading is required, but I'm kneading it and it feels like a good dough now. Looks like this. And now I'm supposed to let this sit for 30 minutes. So we'll put this aside, and now we'll begin our other elephant ears. So just a reminder, this dough is going to make this elephant ear style. The next dough that I'm going to do now is going to make this elephant ear style. For this recipe, the only thing that is required is phyllo dough, a mixture of cinnamon and sugar, and some melted butter, and then the cookie sheets. And I have the oven set preheating to 450 degrees. Open up our phyllo dough. It's exciting. My first adventure with phyllo dough. Hard to believe, right? I bake a lot, but oh, this is interesting. Oh. It comes with multiple sheets. I need to phone a friend because look at this phyllo dough. It's got a million layers in it. I've never done this before, and I'm worried now. Is this one piece? This says 18 sheets. I'm just going to break it into 2. I don't know what I'm doing. This could really be a bust, so you're going to join me on this crazy thing called Helen's Real Life. Okay, so I've split it into 2 sections. I'm going to melt some butter. I used Penzeys vanilla sugar and Penzeys cinnamon for this. I did 2/3 sugar to 1/3 cinnamon, and I created a mixture. Here we go. Boom. Layer it up. Now we sprinkle our cinnamon sugar mixture evenly across. Okay, going to roll and roll again. On this side, roll. This is like doing the duvet cover. Roll again. Another roll this way, another roll this way. Okay, I've got it rolled like that. So I'm cutting it about this thin. And then I'm placing them. I'm gonna pop these in. We'll give these a try. Here's how these turned out. Not good. So I'm gonna put them aside. I'm gonna let it go because I'm gonna say I probably purchased the wrong type of pastry dough. I don't know. This is all they had at the store. So we're gonna just call elephant ear number 1 a fail for today, and we'll move on to elephant ear number 2, and hopefully this will go better. I've got in my skillet about 1 inch worth of oil heating. Here we go. I'm gonna take my ball of dough, and it said about 2-inch ball, so let's see. I don't know what 2 inches is. So I'm gonna start with about that size ball. I do have a rolling pin, thank you, Leslie. My neighbor noticed in my episode that I didn't have one, and she offered one to me whenever I need it, so I took her up on that. All right, so I'm gonna roll it about that big. And then I'm gonna drop it in the oil as soon as I think it's hot enough. I hope this goes well. So what I like to do to check if the oil is hot enough is I take a little drop of water and I just flick it in the pan there, and it definitely sizzles. So, I'm nervous. Okay, let's see how this goes. It's working. Yay. Carefully. I'm going to say this looks pretty amazing. So this recipe has my vote. All right, so let's pick that one up. Let's drop it here. Drop another one in. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's an elephant ear. That's a Long Beach Island elephant ear. I'm pleased. So I've rolled these very, very paper thin. And for my next one, I'm going to try it a tiny bit thicker. I'm going to try one a little bit thicker and see how that goes. So let me just show you how nice this looks. The thickness works when it's just a little bit thicker than that first round. That looks so good. And there you have it. What's nice is to sprinkle the sugar on one side, then flip it over and sprinkle on the other side. So as you can see here, these are looking great. They're going to get powdered sugared soon. Thicker is definitely a little better, and they do not have to really be in the pan for 1 to 2 minutes on each side. It's really like, it seems like 30 seconds on each side, and then they're ready to go. So that was really, really fun. I enjoyed that much better than the first recipe. I'm going to try a piece because I have to. It's good. Yay. And it tastes very light. Oh, it was really tasty. I can't wait. This is good. You guys are going to love it. Remember that you can always go to the YouTube channel for the recipe. All the ingredients are always listed. And while you're there, you can subscribe. That would be nice. And if you're watching this on Instagram and you're gearing up for the raffle tomorrow night, please read the caption so you can see what the directions are for entering in the raffle. Very excited for my Sunday night outing. Well, obviously these were a fail because I bought the wrong type of phyllo dough. So I'm going to toss that aside. That was supposed to be the easy recipe, and this was supposed to be the tricky one. But look how fantastic these look. Sprinkled with a little dusting of powdered sugar. Done perfectly, browned perfectly. I'm going to call this elephant ear perfection.